Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Read Only Memories. I'm Zerfall, and last we left off, we were about to head into this mansion to find out one of Dr. Fairlight's past associates who no longer gets along with him might be our key to finding out what happened to Hayden. So let's go ahead and use this doorbell. Oh, bear open the door. Raaurr. Is that a bear Turing? It appears so. Roar. Your guess is as good as mine, Zerfall. Mine says we can go in. Should we? Let's head on in. Here we go. Oh, swanky. Swanky? What? I've been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms. Is swanky too out of date? I'll say. Oh, Miss Flores. Excuse us for the intrusion. I know who you are. Little boy Yannick isn't the only one with little birds to chirp in his ears. Eep, we can explain. No. Sentat. Calm yourself. Do you need a drink? If I thought you were property of Yannick, I would have just allowed Pat to eat his dinner early. He would have gladly done it too. Fine, not eaten. He does happen to be on a diet right now, big guy. But perhaps a light mauling. Roar. Yeah, look at this philosophy. Yeah, look. This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Roar. Do you understand? Not at all. Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your journalist friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him either. Right. What's on your mind? I thought he was dead. What's on your mind? Oh, look at all these plants. Large climate-controlled globe towers and lounge. It has some lively in-season plants inside. If it's climate-controlled, why would you bother with in-season stuff? What's this thing? Room control monitor is fixed to the back wall of the room. The temperature is set to so low it's freezing. Oh, she's like Mr. Freeze. What's this thing, a mouse? A most regal-looking robotic cat. Oh, the most regal-looking robotic cat in the world sits prim and proper on the fainting chair. A rosy 893 unit from the emblem on its side. It sits patiently near Pat in a sort of ambient sleep mode, playing light instrumental music. Melody keeps unusual company. Ursus maritimus, if I'm not mistaken. That might be why the temperature controls are set so low in here. Yeah, it's definitely a polar bear. I wasn't aware you knew the scientific name of this species, Zerfall. Oh, you're just trying to make me look bad then. Has my interest in proper nomenclature started to rub off on you? He's a white bear, Turing. What else could he be? Plenty. Have you ever heard of the Kermode bear? Also known as the spirit bear, or he could be a white phase black bear, or even a Prisley. But he's not. He's a polar bear. So, Gur and stuff. He's confused. What the hell are you talking about? Alright, let's get down to brass tacks here. You have met me at a disadvantage, Miss Flores. You seem far more familiar with me than I you. Have we met? It's just Melody, Turing. And no, we've never met. Though considering how often Hayden harassed me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt. We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot. What's a robot? I am touched, Melanie. We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past. We haven't had access to any of his research notes and couldn't track down any collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive. Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that beyond typical corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. Still, I'm willing to answer your questions. For now. How did you and Hayden end up working together on Turing? Indeed! I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience. Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer the human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that. Oh, I didn't realize. Now let's find out this. How would Turing's development help with digitizing the human mind? Well, the concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right parts to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with virtual reality implants, we really just rely on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. The implants is just a signal pipe, and the brain does all the real processing. That's why the acclimation period for a direct link implant is like being stuck on a low-grade hallucinogens for a whole week. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking the mechanics of the human brain, he started writing code that mimicked the functionality of the human mind and assumed the architecture behind it would suit both purposes. Think of it like convergent evolution, two different species developing the same adaptations to solve the same problem, but continents apart. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information and collating. That's how he made his name at Parallax in the first place. So he wrote a bunch of baffling self-modifying learning algorithms and let them loose! Poke and prod them here and there and make sure they value the same thing as humans do, and we'd eventually end up with you, Turing. Interesting. Hayden never revealed any of this to me. I'd imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations. Can you elaborate on your involvement? Hayden and I have been aware of each other for years, but I can't say we've ever been friends or anything like that at all. It's a small city if you're in the tech sector. You are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up to my door and demanded access to the research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. He needed the logs to better understand the way the implant handled directing sensory data to the right parts of the brain, and tried to mimic that in your software. I couldn't care less about Flower's patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him I said that. Don't worry. Oh god, Turing's like, yeah, I'm not gonna mention that he's dead yet. Hayden wasn't invested in Turing's development? I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he's preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know that's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock. I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology. Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still a souped-up ROM. More or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that the human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function.
I suppose that's correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding and specialized task?
Sure, there's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start with the immortality now rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people who make a temporary stepping stone important. Or who are.
Thank you for this, Melanie. I understand so little of my origins.
Well, I'm sorry I don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more.
Of course. We'll keep looking. Now, perhaps we could ask some other questions.
Sure.
I want to get to this first. What's the story between you and Fairlight?
Oh hell, that old bastard. And I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out the software development for our first Gen Direct Link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbangers, Yannick tried to get in bed with me. Literally! I turned him down very politely, I might add. And then, suddenly, all the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'd be damn careful about trusting him if I were you. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Still, I suppose if he tried again now, I might not turn him down. It would be fun to needle him about me still having my own company when he doesn't have his. Can you tell us about yourself and Flower Cybernetics? Disc, this is why I don't talk to journalists. They all want to pry into my life. Can't you wait for my autobiography? I promise I'm working on it. Pinky promise.
We don't want to press you, Melanie, but every bit of information we can get could be useful in pointing us towards the individuals who attacked Hayden.
All right, off the record.
Of course. See, she asked this time instead of just saying, this is off the record, and then spilling her beans.
Fine, ask away.
What's the deal with Pat?
Pat is a prototype as well. Flower had a short-lived project that attempted to use neural implants to increase the cognitive power of non-human animals. It worked, to an extent. Pat's smarter than the average bear, but not by much.
Roar.
Oh, be quiet. After the project was squashed, mostly for being a money pit, Pat was the only surviving success story. The Egghead didn't know what to do with him, so I decided to keep him around here. He's not a bad companion, if a tad tantrumic. Give it up, Pat. You're no Shakespeare.
Ha ha ha. Apparently she can understand him. A little bit of the old Gogol 13 special. What's your history with Flower?
Well, Mommy Dearest first started the company half a century ago and quickly let it turn from a cutting-edge medical research group into a Department of Defense super soldier cyborg factory. I took over when she got lymphoma and had to fight tooth and nail to turn Flower into something that churned my guts a little less. Now we're back to making medical tech and consumer neural implants rather than brains inside tin cans with lasers strapped to the front. If the US government wants more war-grade cyborgs, they'll have to get them elsewhere, never mind them being banned by the Geneva Convention. I guess that's the gist of it. Unless you want the sordid details of the 2 decades of board meetings I had to fight through till I managed to buy back a majority stake in the company.
No, that seems to line up with what the mesh says.
Well, I'm happy the mesh manages to get something right at least.
How are you involved in the company today?
Ha! I'm not! I mean, I still own the damn thing, but frankly, I'm tired. I let the current CEO and board do what they want with the understanding that I will shit-can them if they do anything egregiously asinine. Like, say, create more cyborg assassin war machines. War machine! These days, I mostly spend my time talking to Pat and practicing my painting.
You paint? What a coincidence! I love painting! What do you do?
Oh, nothing fantastic, just still life mostly. I'll never be known for my artistic skills, but I enjoy it. It's very meditative, isn't it?
I agree very much. I look forward to when all of this can be over and I can get back to my canvases. Would you mind taking a look at my work since you're my aunt and all?
Ha! Well, we can play a little show. Show you mine if you show me yours.
It's a date. I think that's everything we needed to know.
Good, I can get back to my retirement.
Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later.
Oh, one more piece of information for you, if you'd like it. I got the contact for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a favor anyways, and might be able to give you some more information on anything Hayden might have been working on.
That would be fantastic, Melanie. Perhaps Golden Gate Park? That's public, crowded, and for the safety of us all.
That should work. Be careful out there, Turing. I'd hate to see you get killed.
I will exercise caution, Melody. But I have contacts that can effective any repairs I may need.
You don't understand. Hayden Design used your base hardware configuration to generate your core personality profile. Each repair will take the little idiosyncrasies of your hardware mismatched against your personality algorithms. Too much change and the whole thing collapses. You'll have to be rebooted from scratch. So, I'm sorry to say, you're as mortal as the rest of us, Turing. I guess I didn't know. Yeah, I can tell. You really need to get your hands on Hayden's files. There's plenty I don't know, so maybe I'm wrong. I only remember some of what Hayden told me about how he put you together. Just look out for yourself.
I will, thank you. Alright. Can we talk to this cat?
It looks remarkably bored at all attempts at conversation. Oh, just like the real cat. You give the cat a pet. The name on her collar says Lily. Don't crowd the cat. Robotic felines are double humorless.
What do you got to say here, Pat?
Pat is Melanie's butler, not yours. He will offer service when and only when his mistress permits.
So does a bear you know what? Never mind.
Roar.
Yep, definitely a polar bear.
Psst. Pat, what's the meaning of life?
Oh, he knows what it is!
Woof.
Oh, he's like, nope. Alright, we've looped him. What if we use this on him?
Whoa, that little helmet he wears is constantly translating the TV into growls and grunts in his ears so he can understand.
Oh, that's more of like a... This bear is probably obsessed with reality television by now, so apparently he's watching TV and enjoying it. What sort of thing do they got on the TV here?
The latest episode of Media Blitz is going into the sordid details of a new teen actor's island love affair with a local politician's daughter. Oh man.
Did Pat just snicker at your DMV photo?
Hard to tell with his butler politeness.
An umbrella.
Do you think something so banal as a rainfall is ever a concern for someone like me?
Whatever. What's this in the background? A gardening room.
A Malcolm model ram is tending to the garden.
Okay, so I think we've done what we can here. So let's just go ahead and leave. Hit up the map here. And we have got a new place to go. GG Park. GG, everyone. This is probably the guy we need to talk to. Oh man, I wonder what that scouter says about our power level. But first, let's see if there's anything over here. Throw your stand is still beat up, and look at this! Someone managed to graffiti up. Oh, there's the little water round back here. How you doing, Elfie? Who's that little guy? Is that Elfie hiding back there, the water round? Oh, the poor guy. He freaking popped his, You reach out your hand, he ducks his head lower. I need to refill my cool, refreshing water. I must. You, it was you who... Water! It seems you remember we were his last customers. Oh man, I feel really bad about this now. Look at that water spray. Oh, the poor guy. Well, maybe we'll leave that water on for him and he'll become less crazy when he can hook himself back up or something. You can't get Froyo today. The entire stand was destroyed. Now this is what's interesting. This guy is all messed up. It looks like some older kids got their autistic expression out on this poor police ROM. They covered its eye up with spray paint. The model looks pretty old. It probably didn't even know it was being drawn on. Lexi is gonna be pissed. At least the message is one of love and okay. Alright, what's he got to say? Who is there? I cannot see a thing. I shall make a note to request more street lamps in this park. This is much too dark an area. Poor thing. Poor thing, it can't see at all with its optics painted over like that. It doesn't even know. I hate bullies. Spray paint isn't coming off, and you'll probably irritate them more if you start prodding. Run, don't walk. Run, donut walk. New menu including Cronutberg, the Cronutberg, and the Ridley Biscotti. Huh. Even the police feed has its ads these days. What's our place back here? Ah, right. The Sharon Art Studio, established back in 1968. We've looked at this before. I wonder what type of painting techniques they're teaching their students. No time for art classes. There's a mystery to be solved. It's only been a few days, but I really do wish I could get back to my painting. Back to something normal. I feel caught in a loop. I run through the facts over and over, but I get nowhere. Maybe if I put it on paper, something might make sense. Or maybe it'll just be cathartic. I don't really know what else to do. What do you think Bob Ross would say? That's an interesting question. Mr. Ross seems to be a Christian, but was rather circumspect when discussing his personal life. Maybe he would tell me God has a plan, or maybe he would just say one of those things from a show. It's hard to see things when you're too close. Take a step back and look. Maybe. Or maybe, only think about one thing at a time. Don't get greedy. I don't know what to think about a supreme divine creator. Mine certainly wasn't. But I'll take any of the advice. Wait, I'd take any of the advice in the spirit given. The things that have happened have happened. There are no mistakes. I should fix the things I can fix and change anything I can't into something different. Something better. Thank you, Zerfall. No problem. I'm glad that I reminded you that Bob Ross was a pretty cool dude. Alright, this has got to be the guy we need to talk to. Hey, look at this guy. You've never seen this person. They appear to be waiting for somebody. Perhaps this is who you were supposed to meet. Let's go ahead and chat him up. Can I help you with something? I don't really have time to talk. I'm waiting for someone. Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores. Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have the things that I asked for? There must be some miscommunication. Melody said you'd be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Webster's projects within Parallax. He has gone missing, and any information we could get may be useful. Damn that old woman. We had a deal. She promised me those things, and I'm not giving her anything until I get them. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get away from Parallax. Instead, she sends the two of you, hat in hand, with none of the things I need. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI? Insulting, but accurate. Look, that's not that I don't want to help. I do. Hayden was a colleague and a friend. But if I just hand over his research, I'll lose most of my leverage. I need help getting the hell out of here. I just have to shop it around, since Flower isn't interested in information on Parallax's new big project. Maybe I'll get a buyer. After I get a buyer, I'll be able to pass it to you. Perhaps we could assist you. My friend here is a terrific journalist, and skilled at hunting down people and information is Zer's job. I don't know. Look, I need 100,000 credits cash, fake passports for me and my wife, and an untraceable car. If you can get me that, I can get you the hell out of here, and I can get the hell out of here and get to Canada. This music sounds like the spooky music from Uncharted Waters: New Horizons. And I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, and what I know about Parallax, my company security credentials. Whatever. I just can't stay in Neo San Francisco anymore. We might be able to do that. Might! Do you mind answering some other questions first? What? Why? Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation, the sooner we can fulfill your request. Okay, sure. As long as it isn't any of the juicy stuff. What do you do for Parallax? I'm the head applications engineer for their data analyst division. Or maybe was, is what I should be saying. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data we get. We've worked pretty closely for years, but he is head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes. I just build stuff out of the things he hands me. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit here, Vincent. Hayden was just a computer scientist, if a good one. Was. Slip of the tongue. I'm still getting used to my independence from him. Ha! And that right there proves my point. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash myself here. I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best. But machine intelligence, in a form factor like yours, now that blows my mind. We've got full immersion, virtual reality, and brains in boxes running around inside Android shells, yet most people would still call you science fiction. If you say so. I do. Why are you so adamant about getting out of Neo San Francisco? Because Parallax is rotten from the inside out. Hayden's gone missing as the last straw. There's, what's the best way of saying this without giving away their game? This new project that is about to roll out is likely to change everything about how Parallax does their business. It's not an end-user kind, and not in an end-user kind of way, but everything behind the scenes will certainly change. We've had some board shakeups since the launch of the MeshNet, and the people at the top are different from the ones who previously run the company. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits than ever before. The altruism the company has displayed in the past is gone. This new project has promised to give the board owners more power. Not just the richest company in the valley power, either. Real power. They got rid of Hayden because he was about to publish something that would get in the way of that. And not to be too dramatic, but I think they got rid of him for good, too. Rumors and speculation, but... Anyways, if they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? And there's half a dozen people who could do my job. So I'm getting out of there before I accidentally step on the wrong person's toes and end up at the bottom of the bay, or whatever. Do you know anything about Hayden's disappearance? Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple of days all the time, right? Conferences, guest teaching. But he doesn't exactly share his itinerary with me. But they cleared out his office, revoked his security clearances, and confiscated anything he had been working on with other divisions. I asked around and no one will say anything. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk of the week at the water coolers. Instead, dead silence. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much, he didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Other than that, I don't know anything specific. Oh, thank you. We'll get those things for you. Sure. I guess I can stick around here for a while. I need to make some calls anyways. If you do manage to get what I need, I'll give you anything you want, and hopefully I won't be murdered while you're gone. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I really hope you can do this. I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation anyways. See you soon. I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports and an untraceable car. The only shady folks we know are those kids who vandalized Hayden's apartment. I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but but a long shot's better than no shot. They might agree to help us in repayment for the damage done to the apartment. They seemed remorseful. We should check Market Street for them, in case they regularly hang out there. As for the rest, perhaps Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the cash. 100,000 is no small amount, but it's unlikely that to cause much consideration for either of them, assuming that they're as dedicated to helping us as they claim. Melody is assumably home as usual, and Fairlight did let us know he'd be at the hospital. We can ask either of them for assistance. Okay, we do not want to go to, what's his name at the hospital? Dr. Fairlight. I do not trust that guy. Dr. Fairlight, he's not like Dr. Light. He's more like Dr. Fairwiley, I think. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. I'm Zerfall. Thanks for watching, and next time, we're going to do some more illegal stuff, and hopefully nobody gets murdered while they're waiting for us. Thanks for watching, and hope to catch you in the next episode.